EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Henry out of the pistol. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll go option to the short side. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Huntley to throw. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. To throw, Huntley. Dancing to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Huntley. They try to find Chark, but it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Fields.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this 1st quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for him. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, Fields. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Touchdown, Chicago. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Up to midfield. He's at the 30. 10, 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Lions. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Fields throw here into the hands of Jones. First target, first catch, and a first down. The Bears 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Play action. It's Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Off the play fake. Huntley. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 35.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. Henry will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
Little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short. And they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap, Fields. Going to take a shot for Gallup. That's inside the 20. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait.
It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips. And then he breaks off towards the corner, and off he goes. Well executed.
Second down. It's Brooks. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Fields on the sneak, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Piñeiro's extra point up and good, and that makes this a 9-point game. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And the defense loses him. It's complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. They'll look to throw. And this one is caught. So they come up with a 2-point conversion, and that makes this a 1-point game now. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Off play action, Fields. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is up and good from Piñeiro. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, magical spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
To throw on second down, Huntley. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Let's go now. Hurry, 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 hurry.
On second down, here's Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. He'll get it inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great effort there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have cut it back within a score. So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On 1st down, Fields. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Back to the air, Fields on 2nd down. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Huntley. He's got this, complete to Williams. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, but now you have the kind of game he's having.
Off play action. Huntley. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the... Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a 1st with 3rd down looming.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't have been...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Lions have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Eventually able to punch this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Gonna take a shot for Gallup, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And sometimes you just gotta marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing a shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Fields on 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. On 4th down, Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off. And partner in a tie.